Yeah, so it was the middle of quarantine, and I think BLM had really just risen significantly. It was all over the news, it was all over the place, and my job asked me to watch the documentary 13th. And while watching the documentary, there's this portion where they put everyone's name who had died in the hands of police brutality on tape and taped it to a wall. And I called Lonnie and said, I think we should do something similar and have like a wall of names of the people that William Mary enslaved. And Lonnie said, let's take it a step further. There's so many creative people on campus. Why don't we have students do paintings? And that's kind of how the idea came to be. I remember the first painting we received. It was a yellow painting with a red toned African American woman, and there was chains behind her. And it just surpassed my expectations to the point that I saw it and I cried.
When I think of all the portraits, the one specifically of Tom and Mary, you'll see a mother and a son sitting together. That one for me was the one that really did me in. I wouldn't say I wasn't detached at all, but seeing the familial structure that we know was broken right here on our campus grounds just affected me in a way that I didn't expect.
It's very easy to think of historical events as, oh, that happened, like that's there. And we forget, like, these are human beings who had families, who loved, who had feelings, who cried. And I think seeing a face really, it forces you to think about that. It forces you to reckon with the fact that these are human beings that woke up every morning and were owned.
I think it goes beyond simple acknowledgement, right? So like even when you look around our campus, only recently have we really added any sort of art or pieces or portraits of not even just African Americans at the college, but really acknowledging the history of our past, right? And the things that we didn't do right, that we did wrong. And so I think students were really excited to be part of that reclamation of our history. Of not only saying, yes, this happened, but no, yes, this happened, and these are the stories and the way that it did happen.
My gears have really shifted in what I thought about enslaved people as a white person. People of color have to deal with these things every single day. They have to deal with their history. They have to deal with things that they face in society. But it's easy to turn a blind eye. And I think this is just one other reminder of you can't turn a blind eye. It's dangerous to turn a blind eye. These people were here, and they are as important to our history as any president, as any architect that ever walked these halls. They're part of our story.
You can't forget these stories, because these stories are your stories. Even if you aren't black, even if your family wasn't involved in the slave trade at all, these are our stories by way of being here, and we need to remember that.